Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Korean ebook before it's gone.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. In this video, we'll be talking about top 25 Korean phrases. Okay, let's see what we have first. 안녕하세요. Hello. This is the greeting that you can use for the formal situation. When you meet someone for the first time, you can say 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다, which means hello, it's nice to meet you. Or with your friend, you can just say 안녕 without 하세요, just to say hello to your friend. 여보세요. Hello on the phone. You have to use a different phrase when you want to say hello on the phone. So say 띠리리리링 안녕 안녕하세요. 띠리리리리 여보세요. 여보세요. That's so you can say 안녕하세요 when you're talking on the phone. It sounds weird. 오랜만이에요. Long time no see. When you're just shopping in the department store and you see someone you haven't met for a long time, you can just say 오랜만이에요 to mean long time no see. Or with friend, you can say 오랜만이야. Long time no see. 안녕히 주무세요. Good night. Actually, it literally means please sleep well. So you can use this phrase only with someone who is living together with you, like your parents. So to your parents, 안녕히 주무세요. So at night, you can say 안녕히 주무세요. Then your parents should be, and then you'll be 잘 자. Good night. So 잘 자 is informal way to say good night. So to your wife, to your husband, brother or sister, you can just say 잘 자, and then you can just go back to sleep. 안녕히 계세요. Goodbye. There are two ways to say goodbye. This one is the one that you can use when you leave. Let's say you are invited to someone's house. You had a really great time. You leave. In that case, you can say 안녕히 계세요. 안녕히 가세요. Goodbye. Let's say you are the host of the party. You invited everyone to your home, had a really great time, and then everyone is leaving now. You want to say 안녕히 가세요 because your stay, everyone else is leaving. For example, you can say 안녕히 가세요. 와주셔서 감사합니다, which means goodbye, thank you for coming. 만나서 반가워요. Nice to meet you. When you meet someone for the first time, you can say 안녕하세요, then say 만나서 반가워요. Or if someone is younger than you, you can just say 만나서 반가워 in informal way. So for those who just watched the video of me for the first time, let me say 만나서 반가워요. 모르겠어요. I do not know. Let's say on the street, you're in Seoul, someone asks you something in Korean, you don't know. You have no idea what he's talking about. Then you can just simply say 모르겠어요. I do not know. In informal way, 모르겠어. 감사합니다. Thank you. Let's say you got a gift and you can say 선물 감사합니다. Thank you for the gift. So you can just simply say 감사합니다 or the noun plus 감사합니다 to mean thank you for something. 고맙습니다. Thank you. You can say 감사합니다 or 고맙습니다 to say thank you, but if you want to make it sound more friendly, you can say 고맙습니다. 선물 고맙습니다. Thank you for the gift. 초대 감사합니다. Thank you for the invitation. 잠깐만 기다려주세요. Wait a moment, please. Let's say you're late and you see your boss is about to leave. 잠깐만 기다려주세요. 죄송합니다. Sorry. 죄송합니다. 죄송합니다. 미안합니다. Sorry. Don't use this when you make a big mistake, but if it is not big, then you can just say 미안합니다. That's enough. So when you bump on someone on the street, then you can say this. 미안합니다. Because it's not a big mistake. 알겠습니다. I understand. So let's say you made a huge mistake at your company and your boss will be like, 너 지금 뭐 하는 거야? You can say, after listening to everything, you can say, 알겠습니다. I understand. 선생님 질문 있어요. 선생님 이름이 뭐예요? 알겠습니다. 잘 다녀오세요. Have a good journey. You can say that to those who are going to take a big trip, but usually we also use that to a father who is about to go to work and we just say 잘 다녀오세요. 좋은 하루 되세요. Have a nice day. 잘 다녀오세요 literally means please go out and come back safely. So you can say only when someone is leaving and you are staying in and waiting for that person. 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? 이름이 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요? 재휘예요. 아, 네. 이름이 뭐예요? 재휘입니다. 아, 알겠습니다. 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? 제 이름은 입니다. My name is 제 이름은 이재휘입니다. My name is 이재휘. 안녕. 어서 오세요. Welcome. So you got into the store and you hear 어서 오세요 or 어서 오세요 or you got a guest coming into your place. You can say 어서 오세요. Welcome. 실례합니다. Excuse me. You have to catch your bus and you have to go through the crowd. Then you have to say 실례합니다. 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 When you want to ask a question, you can also say 실례합니다. Then your question. 잘 먹겠습니다. I will eat well. Thank you for the meal. You're at the restaurant, you got a lot of food and you're about to eat. Before you eat, you have to say 잘 먹겠습니다. Even if you're alone, you have to say 잘 먹겠습니다. 아, 잘 먹겠습니다. 잘 먹었습니다. I ate well. Thank you for the meal. 잘 먹었습니다. When you leave a restaurant, you can say 잘 먹었습니다 to the staff to say thank you for the meal. 맛있게 드세요. Bon appetit. Let's say this is the food that I made with seaweed, huge seaweed. 오, 맛있게 드세요. 맛있게 드세요. 잘 먹겠습니다. I'm hungry. 이거 얼마예요? How much is this? So you go to shopping, you found the item you really want to have, and then you can say 이거 얼마예요? 저거 얼마예요? 그거 얼마예요? Then you get the price, but don't accept that. You have to try the discount. Say 깎아주세요 to get your discount. That's all top 25 Korean phrases. Thank you for watching it and please make sure to subscribe. 좋은 하루 보내세요. Have a nice day. 아, 잘 먹겠습니다. 이거 재미를 또.
Welcome to KoreanClass101.com's 3분 한국어, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Korean. 안녕하세요, Amy예요. 반가워요. Hi, I'm Amy. Nice to meet you. In this series 3분 한국어, we're going to learn basic Korean expressions. It's super easy and it takes only 3 minutes. First of all, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Korean. There are a few different ways to do it depending on how formal you want to be. Let's first look at an informal way to introduce yourself. 안녕, Amy야. 반가워. Hi, I'm Amy. Nice to meet you. 안녕, Amy야. 반가워. Here, 안녕 means peace, so literally you say peace to say hello in Korean. Next, you can say your name, then add the sentence ending particle 야. My name is Amy, so I say Amy야. Finally, you say 반가워. 반가워 means nice to meet you. Now you try it. Start by saying 안녕. Then say your name followed by 야. If your name is David, you can say 데이비드야. Finally say 반가워. 안녕 데이비드야. 반가워. Now let's see a formal version. 안녕하세요. Amy예요. 반가워요. Hi, I'm Amy. Nice to meet you. 안녕하세요. Amy예요. 반가워요. What has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at these together. First, 안녕 has to change to 안녕하세요. 하세요 is the verb meaning to do. If you add 하세요 next to 안녕, it becomes more formal and polite. 안녕하세요. Next, you can replace the particle 야 with 에요. Both of them are sentence-ending particles, and you can put them after nouns. But 야 is informal and 에요 is formal. So if you say Amy예요 instead of Amy야, you can introduce your name in more formal way. Finally, 반가워요. Do you remember how to say nice to meet you in the informal way? 반가워. Here, you can simply add the particle 요 at the end of the verb. Then it becomes formal. 요 is a particle that can make a sentence polite. 반가워요. One more time. The formal way to introduce yourself is 안녕하세요. Amy예요. 반가워요. The informal way to introduce yourself is 안녕, Amy야. 반가워. Now it's time for Amy's insights. When you introduce yourself in Korea, it's polite to make a small bow. If you're a guy, bow with your hands at your sides. If you're a girl, bow with your hands in front of you. Bow from the waist. You don't have to dip down very far. Do you know how to say thank you in Korean? You will learn how to say this and many other words in the next lesson. 다음에 봐요. See you then.
Want to speak real Korean from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at KoreanClass101.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. In this video, you will see top 15 questions you should know. Okay, let's look at the questions. 몇 살이세요? How old are you? So it's very common to ask someone's age in Korea, so don't be surprised if someone whom you just met for the first time asks you this question. 몇 살이세요? 몇 살이세요? 20살이요. So you can basically say number and say 살이에요. 20살이에요. 30살이에요. And if you don't want to answer the question, you can say 몰라도 돼요. It's okay if you don't know. 뭐라고 했어요? What did you say? There are two cases. Let's see the first one. 그런데요, 뭐 했어요? 계세요. 뭐라고 했어요? You didn't understand what the other people say, so you can just simply say 뭐라고 했어요? To ask what did you say? But there's another case. Let's see. 옷이 그게 뭐예요? 별로 예쁘지도 않고. 뭐라고 했어요? This case, someone was talking something bad about you, so you're upset, and you can say, what did you say? 뭐라고 했어요? To, start your fight. 생일이 언제예요? When is your birthday? So it's also common to ask someone's birthday, and Korean people are very good at remembering someone's birthday and celebrating for them. For example, 생일이 언제예요? 5월 3일이에요. Sometimes people will say 음력 5월 3일이에요. 음력 means lunar calendar because some people have the birthday in the lunar calendar, not the solar calendar. In this case, their date of birthday will be changed every year. 어디 출신이세요? Where are you from? So in that case, if you're from the US, you can say 미국 출신이에요. Or you can just simply say 미국 사람이에요. I'm American. Or 프랑스 사람이에요. I'm French. 어디 출신이에요? 미국 출신이에요. Or something like that. 어디에 사십니까? Where do you live? So if someone asks you 어디에 사십니까? 신촌에 살아요. So they said like where do you live? And the other said I live in 신촌. So you can simply say 에 살아요. 신촌에 살아요. 홍대에 살아요. To say that you live in the specific area. I love where I used to live, which is 서대문, the center of the city. 어디에서 일해요? Where do you work? Even though you met someone for the first time, you might be asked, 어디에서 일해요? 무슨 회사에서 일해요? Where do you work? Which company do you work? And sometimes, plus, you might hear 연봉이 얼마예요? What is your annual salary? How much do you make for every year? Or something like that. So be ready for that. 어떻게 지내세요? How are you? So if you haven't seen someone for a long time, you can ask something like 어떻게 지내세요? How are you? Usually the common answers will be 잘 지내요. I'm doing well. 그냥요. So. Or if you want to be really honest, you can say 잘 못 지내요. I'm not doing well. 이거 뭐예요? What's this? I might just ask you 이게 뭐예요? Like when I'm invited to a dinner, then if I see someone that I haven't tried yet in my life, then I can just simply say 이거 뭐예요? What's this? And you can just simply say 이거 something something이에요. Like 이거 이탈리아 음식이에요. This is Italian food or something like that. What's this? 이게 뭐예요? 이게 뭐예요? What do you think it is? 이게 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? You can simply just give your full name or just first name if someone asks you 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? For example, if someone asks me 이름이 뭐예요? Then I'll say 이재희입니다, using my full name. So it's kind of sounding rude if you just give your first name only actually, but if you have the name in English or name in non-Korean words, I think that's okay to also give you only the first name because it's easier to remember. 전화번호가 뭐예요? What's your phone number? That might be a little bit more personal question. We might ask someone's ID of some messenger program like KakaoTalk or Line, but we usually don't ask someone's telephone number. But if you are asked because for official purpose or something like that, then you can just give the, number with the area code. 전화번호가 뭐예요? 02-3552 입니다. So usually Korean numbers have 2 or 3 digits and 4. And you can just make some pause between 02-1234-5678. Make sure you make the pause so that they can get it easily. 한국 음식을 좋아합니까? Do you like Korean food? Yeah, that would be one of the common questions that you hear if you're not Korean. For sure, you have to say, 네, 좋아합니다. Yes, I like it. Even though you don't like some part of, you don't like spicy ones. In general, I recommend you to say, 네, 좋아합니다. I like it. But if you want to be real honest, you can say, 별로요. It's also. Or, 아니요, 별로 안 좋아합니다. No, I don't like it. 한국어를 공부한 지 얼마나 됐어요? How long have you been studying Korean? So in that case, you can just give how many months, how many years you've been studying Korean. For example, if it is for 1 year, you can say 1년이요, 3 years, 3년이요. Or if you just started, you can say 얼마 안 됐어요. It has not been that long. Or 최근이요, recently. So let me ask you, 한국어를 공부한 지 얼마나 됐어요? 힘내세요. 한국어를 어디서 배웠습니까? Where did you learn Korean? If you get this question, that means that your Korean is very good. When people are very impressed your Korean, they will just ask you where you learn it. 한국어를 어디서 배웠습니까? So you can just give the answer. For example, 어학원에서 배웠어요. I learned it from a language school. 어학원 is the word for a language school. Or you can say 혼자서 배웠어요. I studied alone. So let me ask you the question. 한국어를 어디서 배웠어요? koreanclass101.com이요? 감사합니다. 한국에 가본 적이 있습니까? Have you been to South Korea? So if you're not living in Seoul, but if someone thought that you're very interested in Korean culture and language, they will ask you this question. 한국에 가본 적이 있습니까? Have you been to South Korea? If you have, you can say 네, 있습니다. Yes, I have. Or you can say 아니요, 없습니다. No, I haven't. 화장실은 어디에 있습니까? Where's the bathroom? So 화장실 is the word meaning bathroom. So you can actually ask anything with this question pattern. For example, 슈퍼마켓은 어디에 있습니까? Where's the supermarket? And 지하철은 어디에 있습니까? Meaning where's the subway station? Okay, that's all top 15 questions you should know in Korean. I hope you like it. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
안녕하세요, 에이미예요. 반가워요. Hi everybody, I'm Amy. Welcome to KoreanClass101.com's 3분 한국어. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Korean. In the last lesson, we learned how to thank people by saying 감사합니다 and 고마워. In this lesson, we will learn some of the most common greetings used in Korea. Are you ready? Then let's start. The most common informal greeting is 안녕. 안녕. 안녕 means peace. We say it when we meet someone and also when we leave, but only to a friend or someone younger than us. The more standard greeting, that you will hear a lot in Korea is 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Literally, 안녕하세요 means, are you at peace? We use it to say hello when we meet someone. It's technically a question, but we don't always say it that way. 안녕하세요. Because 안녕하세요 is a question, some people answer it with 예, which means yes, before replying with the same question, 안녕하세요. When it's time to leave, we have a couple different ways to say goodbye. If you're leaving and the other person is staying, say 안녕히 계세요. 안녕히 계세요. 계세요 means please stay. So 안녕히 계세요 literally means please stay peacefully. A casual version of 안녕히 계세요 is 잘 있어. 잘 means well, and 있어 means stay informally. So 잘 있어 just means stay well. 잘 있어. If the other person is leaving, say 안녕히 가세요. 안녕히 가세요. 가세요 means please go. So 안녕히 가세요 literally means please go peacefully. A casual version of 안녕히 가세요 is 잘 가. 잘 means well, and 가 means go informally. So 잘 가 just means go well. Now you know lots of ways to greet people in Korean. Let's review them all once again. To greet someone casually, 안녕. To greet someone respectfully, 안녕하세요. To say goodbye respectfully when you're leaving and the other person is staying, 안녕히 계세요. To say goodbye casually when you're leaving, 잘 있어. To say goodbye respectfully when the other person is leaving, 안녕히 가세요. To say goodbye casually when the other person is leaving, 잘 가. During the next lesson, we will learn the meaning of the phrase 영어를 할 수 있어요? Do you already know it? We'll be waiting to talk about it with you in our new 3분 한국어 lesson. 여러분 안녕히 계세요. 다음에 봐요.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Weekly Words. In this video, we'll be talking about how to respond to how are you. Let's begin. 괜찮아요. I'm fine. 괜찮아요. I'm fine. For example, if someone asks you 어떻게 지내요? How are you? You can say 괜찮아요. 어떻게 지내요? I'm fine. How are you? Or 괜찮아요. 잘 지내요? I'm fine. You're doing well? 전 괜찮아요. I'm okay. 전 괜찮아요. I'm okay. So if you just say 괜찮아요, that means I'm okay, I'm fine. But if you say 전 괜찮아요, it means I am okay, but I'm not sure about the other person. So for example, if your friend know there was something bad happened to your family and asks you 어떻게 지내? Like how are you? Then if you say 난 괜찮아 or 전 괜찮아요, it means I'm okay, but I'm not sure about other family members. 졸려요. I'm sleepy. 졸려요. I'm sleepy. So you don't have to keep saying 괜찮아요 always. But sometimes when you feel sleepy, you can also say 졸려요. I'm sleepy. And I think it's better to give the reason why you feel sleepy. For example, 졸려요. 어제 늦게까지 공부를 했어요. Which means I'm sleepy because I studied until late last night. 잘 지내요. I'm great. 잘 지내요. I'm great. It literally means I'm spending my days well. So if someone says 잘 지내요, that means that the person is having great days. So let's say, you just passed the test that you prepared for years. And if someone asks you, 어떻게 지내요? How are you doing? You can say 잘 지내요. I'm great. 시험에 통과했거든요. I just passed the test. 기분이 별로예요. I'm feeling bad. 기분이 별로예요. I'm feeling bad. Like, it literally means I'm feeling so-so, nothing special. But in context, you can figure out if it really means I'm okay or if it means something like I feel bad. In Korean, when it's about negative feeling, it's not ideal to say something about negative directly. So people usually say 기분이 별로예요. Like I feel just so-so, like nothing special, nothing good, to mean I feel bad. 나쁘지 않아요. I'm not bad. 나쁘지 않아요. I'm not bad. So 나쁘다 means bad. So it literally means actually I'm not bad. I'm not feeling bad. It's not bad. So for example, you just worked hard, you studied hard, so you feel tired, but it's for making something good. So even though you feel tired, like it's not that much bad. In the case, you can say 나쁘지 않아요. 물어봐줘서 고마워요. Thank you for asking. 물어봐줘서 고마워요. Thank you for asking. It's kind of not common to say this phrase because people usually, just give the answer right away and then, ask you back how are you. 너는 and you. 너는 and you. So you can use that kind of the phrase for any situations that you want to say and you. For example, 뭐 먹을래? What do you want to have? 김치찌개, 김치 stew. And you, 너는? 요새 어떻게 지냈어요? How have you been recently? 요새 어떻게 지냈어요? How have you been recently? So 요새 means recently and 어떻게 지냈어요 means how are you? How have you been doing? So if you haven't seen someone for a long period of time, like for a month, you can say that 요새 어떻게 지냈어요? How have you been doing recently? 바쁘게 지내고 있어요. I've been busy. 바쁘게 지내고 있어요. I've been busy. But still, I'm really enjoying meeting you guys who really want to learn Korean, so I'm happy to doing it. So I can also say that 잘 지내고 있어요. I'm doing great. Okay, that's all the responses to how are you in Korean. I hope you like some of the phrases and use it when someone asks you 어떻게 지내요? How are you? If you want to learn more phrases like this, make sure to visit koreanclass101.com. I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 만나요. 안녕히 계세요.
안녕하세요, 에이미예요. 반가워요. Hi everybody, I'm Amy. Welcome to koreanclass101.com 3분 한국어. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Korean. In the last lesson, we learned the most common greetings in Korean. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Korean, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're asking, even if their answer is no. Are you ready? Then let's start. Here's the basic way to ask whether someone speaks English. 영어 하세요? 영어 하세요? 영어 means English, and 하세요 means do you do? So 영어 하세요 means do you do English? If you want to be a little more specific and ask about someone's ability to speak English, you can say 영어 할 수 있어요? 할 수 있어요 means can you do? Can you do English? 영어 할 수 있어요? 영어 할 수 있어요? This sentence could be very helpful if you're in trouble on the street, in a restaurant, or a hotel. No matter where you are, if you're looking for someone who can speak English, just ask. If you want to be super polite, just add 실례하지만, which means excuse me but. 실례하지만 영어 하세요? Excuse me but do you speak English? 실례하지만 영어 하세요? The response will probably be like one of these three. Yeah? Yes? Yeah? 조금이요. Just a little. 조금이요. 아니 못해요. No, I don't. 아니 못해요. Since this last one is a negative statement about ability, we add 못, an adverb meaning can't. 못해요 means I can't. Now it's time for Amy's insights. For those of you who are not only English speakers, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. 일본어 for Japanese, 중국어 for Chinese, 스페인어 for Spanish, 독일어 for German, 프랑스어 for French. If you want to say, do you speak German? You can simply replace 영어 with 독일어. 독일어 하세요? Do you speak German? 독일어 하세요? In this lesson, we mentioned the word 실례합니다, meaning excuse me. In the next lesson, we will learn this and other ways to apologize in Korean. It's never too late to show your good manners to Korean people. I'll see you in our next 3분 한국어 lesson. 안녕히 계세요. 다음에 봐요.
Want to speak real Korean from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at KoreanClass101.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Weekly Words. In this video, we'll be talking about 20 travel phrases you should know. Let's begin. 고마워요. Thank you. I think if you just have to remember just one phrase before you travel to Korea, I think this is the phrase that you should know. 고마워요. There are different phrases meaning thank you. For example, 감사합니다, which is more formal, something like I appreciate. But 고마워요 can be used in general for any like casual or formal situation. For example, 저쪽에 가시면 화장실이 있어요. The toilet is over there, and you can just say 고마워요, thank you. Just for your tip, in Korea, it's mandatory to open a bathroom on the first floor of every building. So if you don't know where you can find a restroom, you just go to any big building around you, and then you'll be able to see a restroom open to public on the first floor of each building. 저기요, excuse me. If you want to ask how to get to a restroom around you, you can just say 저기요, 화장실은 어디에 있어요? Excuse me, where's the toilet? And then you can say 고마워요 to thank you after getting the answer. 얼마입니까? How much is it? 얼마입니까 sounds a little bit formal, so if you want to go a little bit casual, you can also say 얼마예요? How much is it? You're at a store like for clothing and you find a very good clothing for you, but there's no price tag. Then in this case, you can say 얼마입니까? 얼마예요? Meaning how much is this? 기차역이 어디예요? Where is the train station? Here we have the noun 기차역 meaning train station, and you can replace it with the other noun saying 화장실이 어디예요? Where is the toilet? Or 지하철역이 어디예요? Where is the subway station? 와이파이 인터넷은 무료인가요? Is the Wi-Fi free? So here we have the word Wi-Fi internet, or simply you can also say Wi-Fi to mean Wi-Fi. If you go to any cafe like Starbucks, let's say you buy a coffee, then you can get a receipt, and on the receipt you can find a Wi-Fi password. Checking it, you can ask them saying Wi-Fi는 무료인가요? Or Wi-Fi 인터넷은 무료인가요? Meaning, is the Wi-Fi free? 이거로 할게요. I'd like this. 이걸로 할게요. I like this. Here we have the noun 이거 meaning this. If you want to say that thing, you can say 저거로 할게요. I'd like that. 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu please? 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu please? You can just simply say menu and say 메뉴 좀 주실래요 to mean the same thing. This is very polite expression, so I recommend you to use that. And if you need something else, you can just replace 메뉴판 with something else. For example, 물 좀 주실래요? Could we have water please? Or 김치 좀 주실래요? Could we have kimchi please? 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to have at the restaurant, you can just say 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to order at a Korean restaurant, I would highly recommend you try 불고기, which is kind of seasoned beef with soy sauce and sugar. So it's a little bit salty but also sweet but not spicy. 불고기를 추천합니다. I recommend 불고기. 땅콩 알러지가 있어요. I'm allergic to peanuts. If you're allergic to peanuts, you can just say 땅콩 알러지가 있어요. If you're allergic to something else, you can just say something 알러지가 있어요. For example, if you're allergic to cats, you can just replace 땅콩 with 고양이, which means cat, and say 고양이 알러지가 있어요. I'm allergic to cats. 채식 메뉴 있어요? Do you have any vegetarian dishes? Although many Korean dishes use a lot of vegetables, it's not easy to find something only for vegetarians. So it's better to ask, 채식 메뉴 있어요? Do you have any vegetarian dishes? Before you order something at a Korean restaurant. Or if you want to try a traditional Korean dish but without any beef or meat, you can just say 고기 빼고 주세요, which means please make dish without meat. 계산서 주세요. Could I have the check? If you want to pay for your dish, you can just ask 계산서 주세요. 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? Almost all the restaurants, they accept credit cards. So even if you don't have any Korean currency, it's okay to just go to restaurant and just pay by your credit card. 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? Could you take a picture of me, please? So if you're alone, but if you want to take a picture of you with something beautiful, you can just ask, 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? 금연석으로 주세요. I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. Actually, you don't have to ask this question anymore because since 2015, all restaurants in South Korea became non-smoking, like smoking-free. But you can use the pattern to ask something else. For example, 창가 근처로 주세요. I'd like to have a window seat. 할인해 주실 수 있어요? Could you give me a discount? Simply, you can also say 할인해 주세요, which means please give me a discount. When you are at a Korean traditional market, I think it's mandatory to ask this question because usually they expect their customers to ask this question. So it's better to ask the question. It's kind of fun to get some discount. So in the case, you can say 할인해 줄 수 있어요? Could you give me a discount? Or 할인해 주세요. Please give me a discount. 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? It's possible to not have any internet connection on your phone, so you need a map. In that case, you can just go to a tourist information center where you can find almost every tourist spot in South Korea and just say 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? 예약했어요. I have a reservation. So when you step into a hotel, when you step into a guest house, the staff will ask you like 예약하셨어요? Did you make a reservation? Then you can say 예약했어요. I made a reservation. I have a reservation. 물 주세요. Water please. This is very simple pattern. Like you can just replace 물 with something else. 김치 주세요. 김치 please. 주세요 can be used for any situations. It sounds polite, but still a little bit casual. If you want to be really polite, you can also say something 주시겠어요? 물 주시겠어요? 김치 주시겠어요? That means, could you please give me something? But for most of the cases, you can just remember 주세요 and say something 주세요 to mean something please. 영어 할 줄 아세요? Do you speak English? Simply, you can also say 영어 하세요. It literally means do you do English? But it can mean do you speak English? You know, if someone says something in Korean and you want to ask the person to repeat this question in English, you can just say 영어로 말해주세요. Please say that in English. 괜찮아요. It's okay. So in Korean, it's better to say something indirectly if you want to be polite. So if you want to say no, it's better to say 괜찮아요, which literally means it's okay, but it can be translated as no. So for example, if someone asks you to buy something, you can just say 괜찮아요 to mean no. It's better than saying 아니에요, which means no, literally, because it sounds too direct, and so therefore it sounds a little bit rude. Okay, that's all 20 travel phrases you should know. I hope you use some of the phrases when you travel to Korea. Make sure to come to koreanclass101.com to learn more expressions. I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
안녕하세요, 에이미예요. 반가워요. Hi everybody, I'm Amy. Welcome to koreanclass101.com's 3분 한국어, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Korean. In the last lesson, we learned some words used when apologizing in Korean, including 죄송합니다 and 미안해. In this lesson, we are going to learn some numbers. Yes, numbers. 숫자. There are actually two systems of counting in Korean. In this lesson, you're going to learn the Chinese-based numbers 1 to 10. And you're going to learn them in only 3 minutes, 3분. Are you ready? Then let's start. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10. Okay, now repeat after me. I'll say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job! What comes before 1? Do you know how to say 0 in Korean? It's 0. But in phone numbers, it's often said 0. 0, 0. Imagine someone tells you a phone number. Can you understand it? 0, 1, 0, 3, 1, 7, 5, 4, 2, 6, 8. Now it's time for Amy's insights. As we mentioned earlier, Korean has two systems of counting. The Chinese-based one we are learning now, and the native Korean one. The Chinese-based one is easier, so we are learning it first. But we will learn the native Korean counting system in the very next 3분 한국어 lesson. See you then! 다음에 또 만나요!
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Weekly Words. In this video, we'll be talking about 20 travel phrases you should know. Let's begin. 고마워요. Thank you. I think if you just have to remember just one phrase before you travel to Korea, I think this is the phrase that you should know. 고마워요. There are different phrases meaning thank you. For example, 감사합니다, which is more formal, something like I appreciate. But 고마워요 can be used in general for any like casual or formal situation. For example, 저쪽에 가시면 화장실이 있어요. The toilet is over there. And you can just say 고마워요, thank you. Just for your tip, in Korea, it's mandatory to open a bathroom on the first floor of every building. So if you don't know where you can find a restroom, you just go to any big building around you, and then you'll be able to see a restroom open to public on the first floor of each building. 저기요, excuse me. If you want to ask how to get to a restroom around you, you can just say 저기요, 화장실은 어디에 있어요? Excuse me, where's the toilet? And then you can say 고마워요 to thank you after getting the answer. 얼마입니까? How much is it? 얼마입니까 sounds a little bit formal, so if you want to go a little bit casual, you can also say 얼마예요? How much is it? You're at a store like for clothing and you find a very good clothing for you, but there's no price tag. Then in this case, you can say 얼마입니까? 얼마예요? Meaning how much is this? 기차역이 어디예요? Where's the train station? Here we have the noun 기차역 meaning train station, and you can replace it with the other noun saying 화장실이 어디예요? Where's the toilet? Or 지하철역이 어디예요? Where's the subway station? 와이파이 인터넷은 무료인가요? Is the Wi-Fi free? So here we have the word Wi-Fi internet, or simply you can also say Wi-Fi to mean Wi-Fi. If you go to any cafe like Starbucks, let's say you buy a coffee and you can get a receipt, and on the receipt you can find a Wi-Fi password. Checking it, you can ask them saying Wi-Fi는 무료인가요? Or Wi-Fi internet은 무료인가요? Meaning, is the Wi-Fi free? 이거로 할게요. I'd like this. 이걸로 할게요. I like this. Here we have the noun 이거 meaning this. If you want to say that thing, you can say 저거로 할게요. I'd like that. 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu please? 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu please? You can just simply say menu and say 메뉴 좀 주실래요? To mean the same thing. This is very polite expression, so I recommend you to use that. And if you need something else, you can just replace 메뉴판 with something else. For example, 물 좀 주실래요? Could we have water please? Or 김치 좀 주실래요? Could we have kimchi please? 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to have at the restaurant, you can just say 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to order at a Korean restaurant, I would highly recommend you try 불고기, which is kind of seasoned beef with soy sauce and sugar. So it's a little bit salty but also sweet but not spicy. 불고기를 추천합니다. I recommend 불고기. 땅콩 알러지가 있어요. I'm allergic to peanuts. If you're allergic to peanuts, you can just say 땅콩 알러지가 있어요. If you're allergic to something else, you can just say something 알러지가 있어요. For example, if you're allergic to cats, you can just replace 땅콩 with 고양이, which means cat, and say 고양이 알러지가 있어요. I'm allergic to cats. 채식 메뉴 있어요? Do you have any vegetarian dishes? Although many Korean dishes use a lot of vegetables, it's not easy to find something only for vegetarians. So it's better to ask, 채식 메뉴 있어요? Do you have any vegetarian dishes? Before you order something at a Korean restaurant. Or if you want to try a traditional Korean dish but without any beef or meat, you can just say 고기 빼고 주세요, which means please make dish without meat. 계산서 주세요. could I have the check? If you want to pay for your dish, you can just ask, 계산서 주세요. 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? Almost all the restaurants, they accept credit cards. So even if you don't have any Korean currency, it's okay to just go to a restaurant and just pay by your credit card. 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? Could you take a picture of me, please? So if you're alone, but if you want to take a picture of you with something beautiful, you can just ask, 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? 금연석으로 주세요. I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. Actually, you don't have to ask this question anymore because since 2015, all restaurants in South Korea became non-smoking, like smoking-free. But you can use the pattern to ask something else. For example, 창가 근처로 주세요. I'd like to have a window seat. 할인해 주실 수 있어요? Could you give me a discount? Simply, you can also say 할인해 주세요, which means please give me a discount. When you are at a Korean traditional market, I think it's mandatory to ask this question because usually they expect their customers to ask this question. So it's better to ask the question. It's kind of fun to get some discount. So in the case, you can say 할인해 줄 수 있어요? Could you give me a discount? Or 할인해 주세요. Please give me a discount. 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? It's possible to not have any internet connection on your phone, so you need a map. In that case, you can just go to a tourist information center where you can find almost every tourist spot in South Korea and just say 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? 예약했어요. I have a reservation. So when you step into a hotel, when you step into a guest house, the staff will ask you like 예약하셨어요? Did you make a reservation? Then you can say 예약했어요. I made a reservation. I have a reservation. 물 주세요. Water please. This is very simple pattern. Like you can just replace 물 with something else. 김치 주세요. 김치 please. 주세요 can be used for any situations. It sounds polite, but still a little bit casual. If you want to be really polite, you can also say something 주시겠어요? 물 주시겠어요? 김치 주시겠어요? That means, could you please give me something? But for most of the cases, you can just remember 주세요 and say something 주세요 to mean something please. 영어 할 줄 아세요? Do you speak English? Simply, you can also say 영어 하세요. It literally means, do you do English? But it can mean, do you speak English? You know, if someone says something in Korean and you want to ask the person to repeat this question in English, you can just say 영어로 말해주세요. Please say that in English. 괜찮아요. It's okay. So in Korean, it's better to say something indirectly if you want to be polite. So if you want to say no, it's better to say 괜찮아요, which literally means it's okay, but it can be translated as no. So for example, if someone asks you to buy something, you can just say 괜찮아요 to mean no. It's better than saying 아니에요, which means no, literally, because it sounds too direct, and so therefore it sounds a little bit rude. Okay, that's all 20 travel phrases you should know. I hope you use some of the phrases when you travel to Korea. Make sure to come to koreanclass101.com to learn more expressions. I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
여러분 안녕하세요. 에이미예요. Hi everybody, I'm Amy. Welcome back to koreanclass101.com 3분 한국어. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Korean. In the last 3 lessons, we learned how to count in Korean. In this lesson, we will learn how to ask the prices of things. Which number system shall we use? Because the name of the Korean currency, the won, is based on a Chinese character, we will use Chinese numbers while doing this. The phrase, how much is this, is 이거 얼마예요? 이거 얼마예요? Are you ready to do some shopping in Korea? Let's practice together. You can get a shop clerk's attention with 저기요, 여기요, or if you're feeling more polite, 실례합니다. Then hold up the item you want to ask about and say 여기요, 이거 얼마예요? 얼마 means how much. 이거 literally means this thing. 이 means this. And 거 means things. What if you don't want to ask about this thing? You want to ask about that thing. If the item is near the shopkeeper, point at it and say 그거 얼마예요? 그 means that near you. And 거 means thing. So 그거 means that thing near you. If the item is far from both you and the shopkeeper, point and say, 저거 얼마예요? 저 means that over there, and 거 means thing. And so 저거 means that thing over there. Notice how Korean has two different words for that? You need to use a different word depending on how far away the object is from the listener. At this point, the shop clerk will say the price. When you count money, you can use the counting unit 1, the name of the Korean currency. So if the clerk tells you 900원이에요, how much is the item? As you remember, 9 means 9, and 100 means 100. So 900 means 900. 이에요 is the verb meaning to be. So 900원이에요 means it costs 900 won. Now it's time for Amy's insights. What if it turns out that the item you're asking about is free? Hey, it could happen. In Korean, there are two ways to say free of charge. The standard way is 무료. A more casual way is 공짜. Remember that 공 is one way to say zero? Makes sense, right? Finally, note that while we say 100 in English, we wouldn't say 100 in Korean. We just say 100. The same goes for other counting units. So you can say 101 in Korean as 100원, not 100원. Now, when you ask the cost of things, you can understand any price up to 999 won. But that's not a lot of money in Korea. Most things cost a lot more than that. So in the next lesson, we will learn more about the won and how to count above 1,000. I'll be waiting for you in our next 3분 한국어 lesson. 다음에 또 만나.
I forgot my name. Hi everyone, welcome back to Korean Weekly Words. I'm Jae-hui, and let's see what we have for this week. This week's theme is crossing borders. Crossing borders. Let's see what we have. Okay, the first word is 국적, which means nationality, the country where you belong to. When you get on the airplane and, when you talk in Korean and the other person will ask you, 국적이 무엇입니까? Which means, what is your nationality? Okay, next we have 세관, which means customs. Okay, with the word you can say, 저는 세관을 통과할 때마다 긴장합니다. Which means I feel nervous whenever I go through customs. I don't know, I don't purchase anything expensive, but I just feel like, I'm doing something wrong when I go through customs. 여권, which means passport. 여 means traveling, 권 means book. So it literally means books for traveling that you have to get. So, with the word you can say, 여권을 잃어버려서 대사관에 갔습니다. Which means I lost my passport, so I went to the embassy. No, I didn't. Yeah. Okay, next we have 비자, which means visa. With the word you can say 한국 여권으로는 비자 없이 갈 수 있는 나라가 많이 있습니다. Which means with a Korean passport, you can visit a lot of countries without a visa. Okay, next we have it's getting difficult. 세관 신고서, which means declaration form. You can say 저는 비행기를 타기 전에 미리 세관 신고서를 씁니다. Which means I fill in the declaration. Yeah. Which means I fill in declaration form before I take a flight. Okay, next we have and. Okay, that's all. Outro is the most difficult. Okay, that's all for this week. I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about top 10 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. Let's begin. 종업원, waiter. 종업원, waiter. You can say waiter, which means waiter in Korean, but it sounds more formal and polite if you just say 종업원, which means something like a staff in Korean. You can say 종업원에게 메뉴 달라고 할게. I'll ask the waiter for the menu. 이모, waitress. 이모, waitress. Do not use this word if you are in a very nice restaurant because this word can be used only in a casual restaurant and only in the case that the staff is older than you or in 30s or 40s. because that literally means and. So, you call the waitress by saying, hey, and, excuse me, and, literally. It's kind of the way to show how friendly you think the staff is. So many people use that like 이모, or you can also say 아주머니, like, which means something like old lady. If you're having a meal at a street vendor, which is kind of very casual, you can just raise your hand or just say, 이모 여기 김치 좀 주세요. Waitress, bring me some kimchi, please. It's kind of very friendly way to ask something, so you can use that, but never use this word in a formal restaurant. Menu, 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 menu. So it's following the same pronunciation. Like in Korean, we also say menu, or we also have the word 메뉴판, which is kind of the menu plate, literally. So you can use either menu or 메뉴판. For example, in a sentence, you can say 오늘의 메뉴 먹어볼까? Shall we try today's menu? 주문, order, 주문, order. This is the noun that you can use to mean an order. When you take a seat at a restaurant, the waitress or waiter would ask you, 주문하시겠어요? Are you ready to order? 물, water, 물, water. Good thing about Korean restaurants is that like you can have a big bottle of water on the table, so you don't have to ask for water for many cases. But at some restaurants, they have some machine that you can get water, and they have some signs saying 물은 셀프입니다, which means that you have to bring your water by yourself. So make sure what kind of restaurant it is. Like if you can find a water bottle on the table, then you can just use it. You don't have to pay for that. If you cannot find it, see if they have the kind of machine and with the sign saying 물은 셀프입니다. In that case, you have to go to the machine and get your water instead of asking someone to bring you water. If you cannot see that kind of sign, you can just say 여기 물 좀 주세요. Give me water, please. 후식, dessert. 후식, dessert. 후 means after and 식 means things to eat. So it's something like things to eat after you have a meal. So you can say 후식은 뭐 먹을까? What should we have for dessert? 주방장, chef. 주방장, chef. So 주방 means kitchen and 장 means the leader of something. So something like, 회장 means the leader of the company. So it becomes the CEO of or like boss of the company. 주방장, this word has the kind of same format. 주방, kitchen, 장, leader. So it means the leader of the kitchen, which means chef. In a sentence, you can say 주방장 특별 요리입니다. This is the chef's special. 패스트푸드, fast food. 패스트푸드, fast food. Following the English word, we say 패스트푸드 to mean fast food. So it means the same like any chain restaurants that you can get your meal within 5 minutes. You can say 패스트푸드점, a fast food store. So for example, in a sentence, you can say 패스트푸드는 몸에 안 좋아요. Fast food is not good for your body. 식당, restaurant. 식당, restaurant. 식당 can be used to mean restaurants in general, but for some restaurants that is a little bit more expensive than others, people prefer to say restaurant, which means restaurant, restaurant. So when you hear restaurant, it means something like a little bit luxurious, like, expensive restaurant. When someone says 식당, it means something like, a restaurant with a reasonable price. In a sentence, we can say, 이 식당 어때? How is this restaurant? 계산서, bill. 계산서, bill. In Korea in general, it's kind of common to pay the bill at the exit of the restaurant. You can see some bill on the table. You just bring it to the counter next to the entrance and just pay it there. In some good restaurants, you can raise your hands and say, 계산서 좀 갖다 주세요. Or 계산서 갖다 주실래요? Which means, could you bring me the bill, please? In many cases, you just see 계산서, the bill on your table. You just have to, bring it to the counter and just pay there by cash or credit card. In Korea, you might notice that it's very common to pay something by a credit card. So, usually, you don't have to ask 신용카드 돼요? Can I pay by a credit card? Because it's almost like 99% 99.9% of the Korean restaurants accept credit cards. Okay, that's all top 10 most know vocabulary for the restaurant in Korean. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
Want to speak real Korean from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at KoreanClass101.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this lesson, we'll be talking about top 10 ways to prepare your travel. Let's begin. 목적지를 정하다, to choose your destination. 목적지를 정하다, to choose your destination. So here we have the word 목적지. 목적 means purpose, and 지 means something like the location. So it means literally the location of the purpose. So in a sentence, you can say, 이번 여름 휴가 목적지를 한국으로 정했어. I chose Korea as the destination for this year's summer vacation. 가이드북을 사다, to buy a guidebook. 가이드북을 사다, to buy a guidebook. 서점에서 가이드북을 샀어. I bought a guidebook at the bookstore. 돈을 모으다, to save money. 돈을 모으다, to save money. Literally, it means to gather money. Like, imagine that you have a lot of money here and there, so you grab them and just put them into one place. That's the literal translation of 돈을 모으다, meaning to save money. In a sentence, we can say, 한국 여행을 하려고 돈을 모으고 있어, which means I'm saving money to travel to Korea. 항공편을 예약하다, to book a flight. 항공편을 예약하다, to book a flight. So when I book a flight, I usually go to the airline's website and buy it there because I don't have to pay extra fee. And for most of the cases, I think I can get a better deal. In a sentence, we can say, 서울에 가는 항공편을 예약했어, which means I booked a flight to Seoul. 경비를 알아보다, to research the costs. 경비를 알아보다, to research the costs. So here the word 경비 is kind of the formal word, so you can use it when you talk about the budget or cost for a big project or a travel too, because it's kind of the big thing. In a sentence, you can say 이번 여행에 필요한 경비를 알아보자, which means let's research the cost for this trip. 휴가를 신청하다, to request vacation time. 휴가를 신청하다, to request vacation time. I remember that when I was working at a Korean company, it was not easy to request a vacation because it was not common to use all your paid holidays. So I remember on my first year, I only spent one paid holiday for the entire year. Luckily, I could get the money back for non-used paid holidays, so it was okay though. In a sentence, you can say, 일주일 휴가 신청했어. I requested a week's vacation. 숙소를 예약하다, to book accommodations. 숙소를 예약하다, to book accommodations. So 숙소 is made of two Chinese characters, so it literally means the place to stay. 인터넷으로 숙소를 예약해서 할인을 받았어. I received a discount by booking accommodations online. 여권을 갱신하다, to renew your passport. 여권을 갱신하다, to renew your passport. Here we have the word 여권. 여 is the Chinese character meaning travel, and 권 means some kind of the book. So literally means something like the book that you can use for travel. 작년에 여권을 갱신했어. I renewed my passport last year. 짐을 싸다, to pack. 짐을 싸다, to pack. So here we have the word 짐. It means something that you have to carry. Like if you're on a trip, that means your suitcase, like anything that you put into your bag, and also the bag itself. So it's better to use it as a set phrase, 짐을 싸다, instead of just saying 싸다, which also means to pack. In a sentence, you can say, 오늘 밤 집에 가서 짐을 싸야 해, which means I have to pack when I get home tonight. 여행자 보험을 들다, to buy travel insurance. 여행자 보험을 들다, to buy travel insurance. So the word 여행자 means traveler. So you can also find it in some words like 여행자 수표, traveler's check. And 보험 means insurance. So 여행자 보험 altogether means travel insurance. 공항에 도착하면 여행자 보험을 들자. Let's buy the travel insurance when we arrive at the airport. Okay, that's all top 10 ways to prepare your travel. I hope you like some of the words and make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about top 10 phrases to survive at the station. Let's begin. 에 가고 싶은데요. I'd like to go to 에 가고 싶은데요. I'd like to go to. Here we have the particle 에, which we call a location marking particle. In English, like when you say to the station, the to indicates the location, right? The same thing happens in Korea. Like if you just use the particle 에, that indicates the location. So for example, like if you want to say to Seoul Station, you can say 서울역, the name of the Seoul Station in Korean, and say 에, the location marking particle, 서울역에, to Seoul Station. So if you ask a question using this phrase, 어디에 가고 싶은데요? I'd like to go somewhere. You might hear some answers, and one of them might be 이 버스를 타세요. Please take this bus. 여기가 가는 플랫폼 맞나요? Is this the right platform for? 여기가 어디에 여기가 가는 플랫폼 맞나요? Is this the right platform for? So between 여기가 and 가는, you can just put your destination. So for example, 여기가 종로 가는 플랫폼 맞나요? Is this the right platform for 종로? It's because sometimes, in a subway station, you'll see two platforms on the other side. Sometimes you might need to check if you're on the right platform or not. And then if it is right, you hear 네, 맞아요. Yes, it is. Or you might hear 아니요, 반대편 플랫폼으로 가세요. Which means that no, go to the other platform, please. 막차는 언제 있어요? What time is the last train? 막차는 언제 있어요? What time is the last train? 막차 is the word meaning last train or last bus because it literally means the last car. So you might hear all different hours, but sometimes people might tell you that 자정에 있어요. It is at midnight. If you're in Seoul, you don't have to worry about 막차, last car, when you take a bus because, it runs 24/7. So you don't have to worry about it that much. 가려면 어디에서 갈아타요? Where do I change for? 가려면 어디에서 갈아타요? Where do I change for? So before this expression, you can just put your destination. For example, 서울역에 가려면 어디에서 갈아타요? Where do I change for Seoul Station? The good thing about Korean subway system is that the transfer is for free, like no matter what line you take. As long as it's under the subway system, you don't have to worry about paying too much when you transfer to the other line. So for example, if you say 시청 가려면 어디에서 갈아타요? Where do I change for the city hall? People might say that 서울역에서 갈아타세요. Please change at the Seoul Station. 기차역이 어디예요? Where is the train station? 기차역이 어디예요? Where is the train station? If you're a fan of Google Maps, you have to remember that Google Maps sometimes doesn't work well in Korea because of the laws and regulations. So you might have to ask sometimes where something is because the Google Map might not show something clearly. In that case, you can say 기차역이 어디예요? Where's the train station? And there will be a lot of kind people who might say 이쪽으로 따라오세요. Please follow me this way. 표는 어디에서 사요? Where can I buy a ticket? 표는 어디에서 사요? Where can I buy a ticket? If you're new to Korea, there might be a lot of things that you have to learn from the very beginning. One of them is where to buy tickets. If you're not sure where to buy your ticket, you can say 표는 어디에서 사요? 표 is the word meaning ticket. And you might hear something like 저기 승차권 발매기가 있어요. The ticket machines are over there. Or if you live in South Korea, I think it's better to just buy your transportation card, which is known as T-money. In that case, you don't have to worry about buying a ticket. 까지 얼마예요? How much is it to? 여기까지 얼마예요? How much is it to? So before this expression, you can just put your destination. For example, 서울역까지 얼마예요? How much is it to Seoul Station? Then you hear something like 3,000원입니다. It's 3,000 won. These days, you don't have to talk to anyone. Actually, you just go to a vending machine and just press your destination, then it's going to show you the price. But if you want to check something before you go to the station, you can just ask 서울역까지 얼마예요? How much is it to Seoul Station? 이 버스 가나요? Does this bus go to? 이 버스 가나요? Does this bus go to? And then you can just say your destination. 이 버스 means this bus, and 가나요 means is it going? In most cases, you just have to put the phrases saying the transportation method, like 이 버스, this bus, or 이 지하철, this subway, and then just say 가나요, is it going? If you want to know if the bus or if the subway car goes to a specific destination. For example, if you want to go to Lotte World, the amusement park, you can say 이 버스 롯데월드 가나요? You just put the destination in the middle. Does this bus go to Lotte World? And if the bus is going, you will hear 네, 갑니다. Yes, it is going. 버스 정류장이 어디예요? Where is the bus stop? 버스 정류장이 어디예요? Where is the bus stop? When you are looking for bus stop, just look at the middle of the street because in many cases, they have a special lane for buses. It's not on the side. For some cases, it's in the middle. And when you ask this kind of question, you hear something like 길 건너편에 있어요. It's across the street. 기차가 늦네요. The train's running late. 기차가 늦네요. The train's running late. Here we have the word 기차, which means a train. If the person knows it'll be coming soon, you'll hear 곧 올 거예요. It will arrive soon. Okay, we just checked out top 10 phrases to survive at the station. Which expression do you think you'll use at a Korean station? Let us know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.